Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Fringe reaction. This is Season 1 Episode 16 and it is called Unleashed. In the last episode, a small boy was found who may be up to 70 years old, that had lived a solitary existence and had some sort of psychic abilities, and he's definitely connected to the Observer, I've decided. It does seem strange that in the last 10 or 12 episodes I haven't spotted the Observer at all. If he was there, it was in the background. It was a small appearance, and yet in the last episode, right at the end, we got full-on camera of the Observer observing the boy being taken into a home by that doctor. Whether we can trust that doctor or not, I don't know. So it could be that the boy's being taken into be experimented on by the CIA, or he could be safe. Don't know, but I'm hoping he's going to come back into the show later, or even this episode. I'd like to know more about that. But apart from that, it didn't seem to have anything to do with Walter, Bell, Massive Dynamic, or the German. But undoubtedly, it has. I just haven't seen the connection yet, or the connection hasn't been revealed yet. So, what's the next episode got in store for us? Let us find out. This is an animal liberation group.
Come on, Jonathan. We gotta get out of here.
Hold on a second.
I don't think you really want to find out what's behind that door.
You're a killer.
Tell me you didn't open that door in there. Yeah, you bet I did. Get out. Now, all of you, get out.
You should be arrested. Experimenting on animals is a crime.
Somebody shut her up. Go.
Yeah, you've unleashed something that you wasn't expecting to unleash. And that is the problem with trying to do good when you really don't know what you're doing at all. I don't know. Is it like a huge duck or something? With like a vampire duck. Count Duckula.
Well, they appear to have been attacked by an animal, but the coroner's never seen anything like it. Whatever did this doesn't appear to be indigenous to the area.
Well, wherever it is indigenous to, I don't want to live there.
Configuration closer to that eagle. It was much, much larger.
Hey, we're looking for Big Bird.
Don't be ridiculous. Perhaps a pterodactyl.
The duck remark was a joke, but
No.
Maybe we should go through the student database and see if we can ID any of the victims.
I'm Carl. And no, I would love it. Come on in.
he's stoned.
Yeah, that isn't mine. That was left here by a stranger.
Yeah, of course it was, mate.
Can I get you something? Orange juice? Candy? He's always making flyers, going to rallies. You know, political.
So what kind of causes?
It's really just the one. Animals Forever, I think it's called. Or, no. Animals First.
He was an animal rights activist.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that a quill? He knows.
It's always a monster. Monster must be housewife for raccoon.
Not this time.
Olivia! Be careful.
Thank
Why
you.
aren't you sharing your suspicions, Walter? Oh, I bet the animal control people are dead as well. Yep. No, going into the woods with a gun drawn is not the right response. Running away is the right response. At least until backup get there. Oh. Okay, so Charlie's in trouble.
Charlie. Oh, how bad is it?
I don't know. I'm alright.
You're saying that you think the creature is man-made.
Accelerated Darwinism.
Is that even possible?
In theory, yes, although one would have to solve many problems. Incompatible species,
Yeah.
massive mutual rejection.
Walter, I need you to tell me what exactly you would need to create a genetic hybrid. Like specific items, so that I can see if Robert Swift's bought any of it.
I would need some sodium bicarbonate, a house in the country, a place to be alone with my thoughts, some mala for the late nights, and time. A lot of time.
Wasn't quite thinking like that, but
I know. It's like he's on another planet.
Peter, I'm afraid this is about me, about my work.
yes, well, odds on it was going to be
I
that.
found this book among my old files.
What is this, Walter?
It's a snake scorpion.
Is this the creature?
No. But I fear it is quite similar.
Who could have done this? 20 years ago? Who were you working with?
Kelvin Genetics.
We were doing classified work for the U.S. Army.
I need a name, Walter.
Guys,
Do you remember anybody?
That's weird.
No?
guys, Spotty's moving.
What? If it's still alive. Quick, unzip it. They may be suffocating.
Ugh.
Oh, maggots. Oh, not maggots. Larvae. We must collect them. Petri dish. Make it a bucket.
I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah, we need several buckets.
Walter, how is this even possible?
Stinger.
Stinger, it's reproductive.
Must carry the eggs.
So far, there have been 3 reported sightings.
Yeah, it's not a stinger, it's an egg tube.
Bedford and 1 in Arlington. Authorities advise if you see it or any other wild animal, do not.
Oh, there's the observer. I saw him.
Hear this?
Charlie, hey.
What's up? You okay?
Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah, you've got larvae in you.
But you may not be.
I can't simply remove them. They've already spread throughout his system.
Oh, so what are you going to do?
Give me a second.
Kill him. Kill him to save him.
Poison them.
To find something that humans aren't poisonous to, but they are.
I need a schematic of the sewers, section E3 and F5.
You've had a thought.
Yeah, I think it's traveling underground.
That makes sense.
And we have nothing. Could be anywhere.
Walter, it's okay. We're making progress.
No, it's not okay. You tell Agent Francis it's okay.
God, Walter, you've just flipped. Mood swings.
I'll go talk to him.
No, I think out of all the main characters, Charlie's the one that's the most dispensable.
This kid Jonathan hasn't been to class for the last few days. And I don't know if he was friends with Chris or whatever, but he was into all that animal rights stuff too. Anyway, no one's seen him.
Okay, well, I'll check it out. What's his last name?
Swift. Jonathan Swift.
Jonathan Swift, as in Gulliver's Travels.
You excuse us for a minute?
Dr. Swift, you failed to tell me that your son Jonathan was at MIT.
I'm not sure how that's relevant.
When was the last time you spoke to Jonathan?
A few days. He's very busy at school.
Yes, I know. Politically active.
Yeah.
Animals first? He wasn't too fond of the work you did here, was he?
I really can't say. Is this going somewhere, Agent Allen?
Yes.
Yeah, your son's dead,
I believe
basically.
you found out about your studies, that your lab was testing on animals, and he and his friends broke in here 2 nights ago. But what he didn't know was that you do much more than just testing on animals. You create them. dangerous genetic hybrids.
We're done here. Any further questions, you're gonna have to go through my attorney.
That was Olivia. Swift confessed apparently this monster has nothing to do with your work, Walter.
What?
Well, Swift was working with the geneticist. For years he was pursuing this work. A Cameron Dagelman?
Oh,
Of course.
yeah,
Whoa,
you know
Who's
him.
Dagelman?
Pioneer in hybridization. Quite brilliant. In fact, it was his work that inspired my research in the first place.
Oh,
And it never even crossed your mind that he might be involved.
He had a very forgettable face. He's not interested in food.
No.
But we do have something that it is interested in.
it's young.
Bats are a highly maternal species. They're quite protective of their young.
Walter, are you saying that we can lure this thing by dangling those larvae in front of it?
Yeah, but
Yes, but no. Hopefully, our guest alone.
Well, now I know what it feels like to be live bait.
Hey, come on, let's get in position.
Don't say that I never take you anywhere.
who's he doing? What's he doing?
Right now.
I'm afraid I can't do
Oh.
that, Peter. No one else is going to get hurt. This thing is
Water.
a mistake, and I'm going to correct it alone.
Walter, is that the trichloramide? No, 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 no! What are you doing? That's gonna kill you!
What the hell?
Should the creature consume me, it will only be poisoning itself. Afterwards, you remove its blood and save Agent Francis.
Walter!
It's behind you. It's above you. Wow, they are big claws. So what, just Walter got the antidote and he's recovered now? They've got all the way back to the lab.
Now we wait.
They're dying.
Now you crap them out.
That'd be pleasant. Okay, then I would say that was pretty standard fare for Fringe at the moment. Fairly normal episode, if you can call any episode of Fringe normal. I did like the twist at the end where instead of it being someone that's using Walter and William Bell's work and carrying it on, this was instead someone whom Walter was inspired by, someone that was working in fringe science before Walter was. As for the larger ramifications of this episode, I wouldn't have been totally against Charlie dying. To be quite honest, it's the one character of all the main characters that is disposable, in my opinion. So I honestly thought at some point that they might actually kill Charlie off, but maybe it's not that kind of show where they kill off main characters. Because if 16 episodes in, I still really don't know what type of show I'm watching in that respect. But other than that, a good episode. I wish we'd got to see a little bit more of the monster. I suppose effects budgeting is a little bit tight when you're dealing with a 23 episode season. But I think it was effective. The effects were effective enough without actually having to see the monster. I just wish we had seen it a little bit clearer. Never mind. Maybe we will again in the future, because I don't think we've seen the last of this. And I say this all the time, just in the hope that one of these threads comes back again. One of these, monsters or whatever. I don't know. Looking for continuity where there isn't any, and not following the correct continuity that I should be. And there's something going on between Peter and Rachel. I always thought it was going to be Peter and Olivia, but I did notice that they had a little bit of a connection a few episodes ago. So that seems to be developing a little bit. They seem to be very, very friendly. And I like that contrast where Peter phoned Olivia up and Olivia was all sort of serious and is there an emergency, what's going on? They're very work related with each other. And as soon as she hands the phone over to Rachel, she's giggling and you can tell that the conversation has taken a completely different turn and it's jokey and familiar and comfortable. So, yeah, Rachel and Peter, woo! Which leaves a love interest up for Olivia, who's going to be, because I thought Peter was going to end up being her love interest, but maybe not. Maybe this is a show where the main character, which is Olivia, I mean, Olivia is the main character, where the main character doesn't engage in some sort of stupid love plotline. I still think that at some point in the next 4 seasons, Olivia and Peter are gonna do the nasty. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, good episode. Really enjoyed it. I did spot the Observer, and he was in the background again. He was almost unnoticeable in the background of the TV report, and that's what I mean. When the camera shows the Observer full on, really obvious, and not hangs on the Observer's face for a few seconds, it means that there's an obvious connection, because at all other times they're hiding him in the background. But he was there, so Ray. Usually when we see the Observer like full on, I usually do spot him in the next episode. It's the next episode now that I'm not going to be able to see him. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.